Well, hi everyone, welcome back to PhotoshopUser TV. It is the Halloween episode. It's days before Halloween. We're almost there. So we've got our special friend here, and we have a ghost somewhere around, floating around the studio. There it is. Woo! All right, so welcome everyone. We are brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, who bring you PhotoshopUser magazine, where everyone learns Photoshop.
Or everyone should.
Everyone should.
That's right.
My name is Corey Barker. I'm one of the Photoshop guys. Welcome. And today I am joined by the Photoshop girl herself, Jessica Maldonado. There you are. There she is.
I have the necklace today.
You have the necklace today. Where has it been? It actually kind of works for the Halloween thing, too. All right. It's very scary, I know.
And you have something creepy for us.
I do have something creepy in just a moment. But first, we have another Peach Pit book deal. Peach Pit TV, or Peach Pit, has a great ebook offer for the Adobe Photoshop Lightroom 5 Classroom in a Book. And you can check it out at peachpit.com/KelbyTV. Use the coupon code KelbyTV. You get 40% off the cover price. That's a great deal, so be sure to check that out. Now, let's dive right in because I have something pretty cool. Since it's Halloween, I thought I'd do something really cool creature effects or something like that. Now, if you look at my screen here, I actually have an image here that I want to use. It's this cool, it's a stock image of this cool creepy guy, but this texture is what we're concentrating on here. Now, what about this texture? This is actually the dew on the side of my car. One morning I got up, I was getting ready to come to work, and I was getting in the car, and I noticed this peculiar pattern that the drops were on my car. So I took out my phone, always got my phone with me, and took a nice close-up picture. It took about 4 or 5 shots, and then I got them. And I was thinking, wow, this is really cool. And I'm always doing that with textures. I don't know what I'm going to do with them at the time, but you know, the texture captures my eye, and I'm like, oh, I've got to do something with this. So I was looking at it and thinking, well, you know, it looks like it could be a really cool, almost like alien texture of a skin or something like that. So playing around with it, let's have a look. Now, of course, the color is all wrong. It's actually picking up the daylight on my white car, so it's kind of got that blue haze to it. So let's just get rid of that. I'm just going to go to Image Adjustments, Desaturate. No more color. I want to make a levels adjustment just to boost the contrast a little bit, punch out some of the detail in these drops here. There we go. And then I'm just going to take this and go ahead and drag it on over to my document. Now it's pretty big, so I'm going to actually need to scale it. So let's drag it down to about right there. Now, I'm going to use it probably several times in different areas of the skin on this guy. So I'm actually going to make a duplicate of this layer. Just press Command J. And we'll just turn off the duplicate for the moment and work on this original. Now, I want to be able to see what I'm doing underneath this layer. So obviously it's blocking out what's beneath it. So I'm just going to drop the opacity to 50%. I can still see the layer, but I can also really see what's underneath as well.
Sure.
So now I'm going to put this in Free Transform and scale it down. I'm going to actually position this on the forehead area. So I'm going to rotate that a little bit. Now, this is where the critical tool, Warp, comes in. So I'm going to go warp that and just really push this texture to conform to the shape of his head. And so I actually twist this out. Now we know as areas get further away from us and are on a plane, we start to see a different perspective on it. So I'm just going to squash the top here. Notice how it doesn't move it up here, but almost it's like it's wrapping around the head there. And that's really the beauty of this warp tool, is that you can really shape things to wrap around objects in a very realistic way. So let's push that around like that, and I think that looks pretty good. Now notice I've got a lot of excess area here. I'm really just concentrating on the areas I can see on the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and just press Enter on that and zoom in here. Let's bring that opacity back to 100%, and there we go. Now, I'm going to colorize this. I'm just going to do a Command U and do a quick hue saturation colorization on here. Let's do it kind of reddish. A little angry red there. I can always change it if I want. Let's change the blend mode to something like color burn. Ooh, kind of cool. Maybe multiply. Multiply is not bad. Let's stick with that for the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and add a layer mask because I've obviously got some harsh edges. It really just looks like he's wearing this really disgusting skin cap or something. I don't know. But so let's take the gradient tool, and using a foreground, the transparent gradient, I'm just going to go and use the radial gradient as well. Just give a little bit of a fade around these edges here. You know, obviously I don't have to worry about the areas that go into the darks because that just doesn't matter. We can't see it anyway. So, and of course I can try different blend modes and just see, actually color burn looks really cool now. There we go. Now, if it does, I mean, it's really punched out the saturation there. If it seems too much, here's a cool trick. Double click the layer and use the blend diff sliders here and just split that slider in the underlying layer and tone that down a little bit. Notice how it allows that texture to come through a little bit?
Ugh.
Allowing that realistic lighting to come through. So now this guy's really got some creepy things happening in the skin here. And of course I can do that. Now I've got the duplicate. And I'll just keep making duplicates of the original one. Turn that one off and let's do the same thing. I'm not going to go all the way through the process again, but just to show you. Just rotate there and just warp that. Do the same thing. And you're just conforming this element to those various parts of the skin. And ultimately, you'll wrap it around and you'll have this really cool skin texture, all from a simple image of water drops sitting on my car.
That's great.
So it's really just a thing of just paying attention to textures in the world. You know, just look around, you see something, and everybody's got a smartphone now with a pretty decent camera on it.
Pays to keep your eyes open.
And the moment you see it, take that picture. You may not use it, but you've got it. You're not going to have to say to yourself, man, I wish I'd captured that texture. I mean, I was at Universal this weekend. I shot several textures just on random things that I thought might look good, and I may use them, I might not. But the point is, I have them. All right.
Yep. Sidewalks, cracked dirt, all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. No, everything, anything, and everything you see. So, all right, let's take another quick break. Another one, like we've already had several. Quick break. We'll come right back. Jessica's got something. We got some giveaways, and we'll wrap things up. Stay with us.
Need a little boost? Then fill up on fuel. Packed with practical tools and tips that will help you quickly advance your creative skills, these short ebooks get right to the heart of what you need to learn. Maybe you're looking to develop new photography techniques, building a composite image for the first time, or want to impress your friends with a beer photo that makes them thirst for more. Written by top authors and trainers, Fuel Books offers friendly, straightforward instruction and innovative ideas to power your creativity. Starting at just $5, every Fuel book comes in 3 formats: Mobi, EPUB, and an elegantly laid out PDF. So you can choose the reading experience that works best for you on whatever device you choose. Fuel Books, designed to inspire you.
All right, so we are back. Now, we are, of course, as you know, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. And if you're not a member, we don't know why you're not. But if you're not, be sure to go check us out at PhotoshopUser.com. Find out all the great benefits there are to being a NAP member. And we were members before we even started working here.
That's right.
So actually I attended several Photoshop Worlds. I mean, I was an attendee. We were once like you.
Come play with us on Facebook too. Corey and I both have weekly tips on the NAP Facebook site, so facebook.com/PhotoshopUser. So come look at us.
Be sure and check that out, of course. And naturally, if you are following the Fantasy Photoshop League. I almost messed it up. Fantasy Photoshop League. This is the last week of this, so be sure to keep your scorecards on check on what tools we're using. I think I might have used a couple myself that might help anybody along. So again, find out more about that at PhotoshopUser.com/promos. And with that, we're going to jump right now to Jessica, because she's got something on screen. Screen looks pretty cool.
Yeah, my quick tip this week, it's dark but not creepy or scary like Corey's. I just produced a book for Frank Dorhoff, and some of his images, all of his images are gorgeous, gorgeous images, but some of them are a little dark for print, especially if I'm using them very small on the page. So where this one, for instance, might look great in a giant print, at 4 inches on the page, it's gonna all these darks are gonna lose their detail. It's gonna close up when ink hits paper. So what I like to do with an image like this, I will just hit Command-J or Control-J on a Mac and make that new layer, that duplicate layer on screen so that it brightens everything, and you'll see it's lightening these darker areas so they're not gonna close up when ink hits paper. And then, since I don't want to ruin Frank's beautiful lighting, I'll just throw a mask on there and grab a brush and paint back with black on my mask some of these bright areas that don't need any lightening. Maybe I should pull back on the opacity of that or blur it, but then you can also pull back on the opacity of the entire layer so that you're just kind of adding a little bit of extra lightness to those dark areas so they don't close up when they print.
Nice.
And that's just my quick tip for today.
Love it. Good deal. All right, now it's time for some giveaways. always a tradition at the end of the show. We just can't have Photoshop User TV without giving something away.
Nope.
And as usual, as we've been doing all season, well, I keep saying season, like we're a season. But we are giving away a year NAP membership. And if you're already a NAP member, of course, it'll just extend your membership another year. And we are also giving away this book, Foundations of Digital Art and Design. And I hope the camera can zoom in on this, because I am not going to attempt the name of this author. It's it's unusual. It's X-T-I-N-E. So it's Zetine, Christine, we don't know, but we're going to guess anyway. But yes, you will get this book as well as a year of all the greatness NAP has to offer. So how do you do that? You will go to kelbytv.com/contest. Go in here into the entry form, enter or select Photoshop User TV, enter your name, email, website if you like, and leave a comment. Just it's really just kind of throwing your name in the hat. So leave us any comment or suggestions, or there's a creepy poltergeist yet again.
We're haunted.
Haunted on this episode today. But with that, do you have anything else?
No.
No other announcements or anything?
I'll say happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, yes.
Keep track of your Fantasy Photoshop League score.
Indeed. So I'm going to make sure you keep track of that.
And join us on Facebook.
A lot of different tools on there. Yes, indeed. Check us out on Facebook as well. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. We hope you enjoyed the Fantasy Photoshop League. As we mentioned, this is the last episode, so tally those scores and good luck to you. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Corey.
We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.